1:20 then, this Wednesday afternoon. Now, we've been hearing a lot in the news about so-called fast fashion recently. And when you look around at the bargains available in some high street shops, and I can't avert my eyes sometimes to those bargains, it's maybe not surprising to hear that Britons buy 38 million items of new clothes each week. I think I'm partly responsible for that. But 11 million of those will end up in landfill. Now, I don't do that. I cannot begin to understand why people would throw clothes in landfill. You pass them on, don't you? They go to second-hand shops or they go to friends. It is startling news, especially when we hear that it's going in landfill. Well, Lauren Cowdrey, who works in Goole, was equally surprised, and for that reason, she has spent a year buying her clothes only from charity shops. I've been to meet her outside a charity shop in Goole today.
After getting involved with Leeds Community Clothes Exchange, I started doing a lot of research into sort of the ethics around fashion and the environmental impact and the human impact of people working in poor conditions, and I just thought something needed to change. So I thought I would challenge myself to not buy anything new, because you find you go in the shops because you're bored or it's your lunch break, and you just go, oh, I'll buy it because it's there
and it's a bargain,
and it's a bargain.
Resist, yeah.
And I thought, well, actually, I'm buying this stuff, but I don't need it. And some of it's sat there, and you think, well, I'm not wearing it. Why am I wasting my money on it? So I challenged myself to not buy anything that was brand new. So I could buy from vintage shops, from charity shops, from the clothes exchange, but nothing that was newly made.
Was it an exciting year? What did it do to your style?
So I think it really opened up my style a bit more wildly. I think before, you have sort of what you think are the clothes that you like. But I think when you're going through those charity shops, you find something wild and you go, I love that, and it's £3, why not? I'll give it a try. And I think I started wearing more colour, more different textures, and I think it just gave me a much more interesting wardrobe.
Yeah, well, I totally recognise those feelings, and I think you've met your match a little bit with me, because I don't know if you get this as well, but when you go in a second-hand shop, do you get a little bit excited about what treasure you're going to get?
Yeah, and I think it's like, you're sort of like an explorer, what are you going to find, what's going to be there? And I think there were some absolutely fantastic finds that, you're not even looking for, and then it just leaps out at you and you think, wow, that's amazing, and it's a bargain. And, I've got designer things, vintage things, and you think, well, I would never have gone looking for that if I was in Topshop, but actually you're going to find those in your charity shops.
So that year's over now, so you're not quite as strict, but you are still trying to kind of combine the second-hand with kind of decent quality things that are going to last.
Yeah, so I'd say probably 95% of my wardrobe is still second-hand. There's the occasional thing that I will get that's new, whether it's something you can't find second-hand or you've got a gift voucher or that sort of thing. But yeah, I'd say if I can't find it second-hand, I'd be surprised in most cases.
Shall we go shopping?
Yes, let's do it.
So, yeah, this is Bernardo's in Goole Town Centre. I think that second-hand shops are more organised than they used to be, aren't they? They're kind of organised into sizes or colours.
Yeah, I think it's a lot easier. I think when I first started, it was a bit of a sort of jumble sale. You had to really rummage, whereas I think now there are, you can easily look and go, oh, that's where the dresses are, or that's where the coats are, and it just makes it a bit easier to find what you're looking for.
Are you after anything in particular at the moment?
Not particularly, but I'm always open to something exciting.
Okay, well, let's go over to here where it looks like the ladies' things are. There's something here, actually, not unlike what you're wearing. That is a lovely jacket, isn't it? That's a really nice jacket, actually. It's not vintage, it's from Primark originally, but those are really lovely buttons, aren't they?
So I do have to confess, the jacket I'm wearing today actually did come from this shop. So
it's like it's coming home
then,
isn't it? So that's £10. That's like a leopard skin. I mean, you're not going to buy that because you've already got one.
I've already got one.
I don't want to sound like your mum.
Yeah, there's only so many leopard print coats that you need, but it is a lovely coat. So if someone's after a leopard print one, then Bernardo's is definitely.
I might be trying that on myself actually. But that's the thing as well. You see, I don't need it. And do you find that when you're in a second-hand shop, you come out with things that actually you don't need? But does it matter if it's second-hand?
I think occasionally you do, but I think when it's second-hand, obviously you're supporting a charity and you're not contributing to this sort of endless amount of new stuff that's being produced. So actually, if you take it home and go, actually, I don't need this, you can just return it to a charity shop and then someone else can get the use out of it. So I think there's less sort of, you feel less guilty about it if you do get home and think, actually, I've changed my mind.
So we've had a good old rummage then, Lauren. Have you found anything? I mean, there's a huge array of things, and we've even noticed actually that some of these things are still in new shops at the moment.
Yeah, so there's a couple of things you kind of recognise. I've seen that in the shop up the road, and now it's in the charity shop for half the price. So yeah, so
it just illustrates your point, doesn't it? That people buy things and then no sooner have they bought them than they leave the house. But at least I suppose they're not going into landfill, are they? They are coming to a charity shop.
Absolutely, which is there's no excuse for ever putting clothes in the bin. There's always somewhere you can pass them on to, whether it is a recycling bin or whether it is a charity shop, or just pass them on with friends and family.
We've got a little exchange going on at my work actually. There's nothing quite like somebody bringing a bag of clothes for you to rummage through. So.
Yeah, we do that at Junction as well. I regularly come in sort of going, oh, this is your jumper, and it's quite nice to see the journey clothes go on and someone else getting the use out of them.
Let's have a look at what you found then. What have you picked out?
I found this beautiful bright red. It's a Winsmore wool overcoat with black buttons. It's absolutely stunning.
Yeah, it's really good quality, that, isn't it?
If I didn't already have about 15 coats, I would be definitely taking this one home with me, and I may still come back for it.
And that's a really reasonable price, isn't it, for what looks like a brand new coat? I mean, that would cost you £200, I think, in
absolutely.
£15.
It's an absolute bargain.
It's a stunner. What else have you got?
So over here I found it's actually a vintage velvet, sort of crushed velvet shirt, which looks sort of from the 90s. It's a Miss Chloe make, which I've never heard of.
But you can tell it's vintage by the label, can't you?
Yeah, so it's sort of a crushed velvet black sort of long sleeve shirt, and it's £3, which is an absolute steal.
I think you might be leaving with that.
I think I definitely will be leaving with this one.
And then finally, this is a nice bright colour, isn't it? This orange jumper.
Yeah, so it's sort of 3/4 sleeve. I think it's sort of a chenille bright orange jumper. It's a Sainsbury's make, but again, it looks practically brand new. There's not a mark on it, and that's £3.25, which again is an absolute bargain. So, I mean, as we established, we're both converted, aren't we? There's no need to kind of preach to me. We both love second-hand shops. But if everybody were to do what we do and shop mostly in second-hand shops, do you think it would be sustainable, for the economy and for the clothing market? I mean, clothes shops aren't going to want us to do this, are they, for a start? I think they should be working together. So I think that, there is always going to be occasions where you need to buy something new. And I think particularly for people who are plus size or who are very tall, actually finding the clothes that you're looking for second hand is going to be very difficult. I think it's if you can find it second hand, then try to. And if you need to buy it new, it's making sure that you get that use out of it. There's no excuse for buying something, wearing it once and then giving it to a charity shop. I think it's being conscious of your consumption and thinking, do I want this? Will I wear this? And trying to commit to wearing it 30 times before you pass it on. And then you're getting that use out of it. So you're still helping the economy, but you're also making sure that the things you buy aren't discarded and that they do get the value out of them.
A bit of wise wardrobe advice from Lauren Cowdery as we went to meet at a second-hand shop in Goole this morning. It was a pleasure to meet her. What a way to spend my morning. It's one of my favourite pastimes, you'll be unsurprised to hear. And I am actually still mourning that jacket that I didn't buy. It's haunting me. It's that fur jacket that was in that second-hand shop. It was in Bernardo's in Goole. I hope it goes to a good home. Thank you very much for your message. This is from Anna, who's in Bridlington. After losing 7 stone, I was in need of a lot of new clothes. Like most people, money is tight, so I decided to look in charity shops and vintage clothes shops. I got some nice tops and bits and bobs, but my star buy was a black sequin cardigan by David Emmanuel. £5! What a Bobby Dazzler. Well done to you, Anna. 81333. Start your message with the letters RH. Keep your bargains coming, will you?